Hey guys, double upload today. We're going to talk about the Moldovan elections happening today also, after I just talked about the Sardinian elections. Something different for me, because I sometimes normally decide to upload only once a year. I'm going to try to upload most elections. I'm going to try to make a video for most elections of the year. So, let's get right into it. Last time around, the Party of Socialists and the Liberal Democratic Party came out on top with around 20%. The Socialists just ahead of the Liberals. Well, the Democrats, I can't call them the Liberals. Um, the Party of Communists, typical for uh, Eastern Bloc countries, they have some kind of communist party in there at 17% in third place, and then the Democratic Party of Moldova in fourth with 15%. The Liberal Party behind them in fifth with 9%, and all others were below, I suppose, a 5% threshold. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to me why none of them got any seats. So I think that is most likely a 5% threshold or something. Back then, the Party of Communists halved their support, like they basically disappeared, and the Party of Socialists came out of nowhere and became won in first place. Then the current president is Igor Dogon. He's a former Party of Socialist member and is now an independent. And the prime minister is Pavel Filip. Is a previous minister and factory manager. He is currently the prime minister of the Democratic Party of Moldova. The government is at the moment made up out of the Democratic Party and the European People's Party of Moldova, because apparently after the last election, literally all parties in the don't know actually what they call their assembly or something like that, they collapsed and just everybody founded new parties and joined others. And interesting, very interesting. That's how the PDM ended up with 42 seats instead of 19. Mostly, I think, because of uniting with the Liberal Democratic Party or something like that. Weird, but okay. And if you have no idea what those parties are, now comes the segment where I explain them. So, the biggest party at the moment is the Party of Socialists of the Republic of Moldova, led by Zinaida Greciani. Now, if you thought out my pronunciation of the Italian names were bad, oh boy, these are gonna be worse. Especially those double I's, I don't understand. Anyway, they are a nationalist, populist, democratic, socialist, pro-Russia party, which is an extremely weird combination. They are also anti-NATO and anti-Romanian, although there are some members of theirs with Romanian citizenship that are sitting in parliament, which is interesting enough. Um, yeah, it's basically like that meme, Nazi communists. That's not that ridiculous, but it is very weird. So their members are very nostalgic in a way about the USSR and have a strong sense of a Moldovan ethnicity, which doesn't really exist, to be honest. They're just Romanians. It's the same way like Macedonians are actually Bulgarians. Anyway, I probably pissed off some people with that. Please don't bomb me. So, they are currently affiliated with the ENF and are also strongly anti-LGBT rights. They've teamed up with right-wing movements and religious movements and Orthodox, with the Orthodox Church apparently, and went after, uh, are very against any kind of LGBT rights. Weird, but okay. Then we have the Democratic Party of Moldova, led by Vlad Plahotniuc. They're a social democratic pro-EU party. They were founded in 1997 and have been a strong force in Moldovan politics for a long time, but I don't think they ever really led the government. They've just recently been leading the government, and Vlad here is not actually a prime minister. I suppose if they win the election, he's going to become the prime minister. I don't think the president gets elected in this election, although I might be wrong. I think there's a separate election for that. Then we have the Now platform, DA, and PAS, yeah, which is an alliance of the Party of Action and Solidarity, a liberal pro-EU affiliated, pro-EU party affiliated with the EPP, similar to, for example, the Liberal Democrats in the UK. And then the second member of that alliance is the Dignity and Truth platform. They are a kind of populist pro-EU movement. The alliance is led by May Sandu, a very young woman, I suppose. They are trying to be the liberal pro-EU kind of movement, uh, taking on that very interesting looking woman from the PSRM. I mean, she looks like just like an old teacher of mine. Horrible woman, extremely annoying, constantly streaming around and everything. I don't like her by just looking at her. Anyway, then we have the Party of Communists of the Republic of Moldova with their leader Vladimir Voronin, and which is, surprise, surprise, a communist party. They're communists, they're Marxist-Leninists, and they used to be very strong and big, and they led the government from 2005 to 2009, but recently they just collapsed completely, and even in the polls they're showing like they could even be below the threshold. That is a downfall of a party that I'm very glad. Seeing a communist party go down like that, that's very erotic. Then we have the Republican Socio-Political Movement Equality, led by Ilan Shor, which is a Russian nationalist, pro-Kremlin conservative party affiliated with the ECR. Interesting party. If they got elected, they probably would make Moldova join Russia. I suppose, something like that. Although that would be weird. Anyway. Definitely no further EU integration then. Well, and at last we have the Our Party, or Partido Nostro. Very interesting. It's led by Renato Usati, which is a conservative, Eurosceptic, pro-Russia party, but not that as pro-Russia as the Socio-Political Movement Equality. They're a very new party, and they stood in the local elections 2015, and they received 11% of the vote, so that's very strong. Now, let's see how the polls are doing to actually see which of these six parties, I mean there's more than those, but those are the only major ones that will have any chance of entering parliament anyway, so let's see how those six parties are doing in the polls at the moment. The polls show the Party of Socialists in the lead with around 30 to 50%, it really depends on the polls, but they are most likely going to be first. Then we have the PDM, so the Democrats, with between 10 and 25% around that. Then the Liberal, like that Liberal ACOM alliance, which are polling between 20 and 28%. And then far behind the Freak Free, there's a Communist Party with around between 2 and 7%, and those Republican Russian nationalists with 1 to 9%, and then the Partido Nostro, our party, between 1 and 3%. Now, I predict that the Socialists will most likely be around 40%-ish, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then the Democratic Party in second with 20%, in that range, probably tied with ACOM, and also around 20%. And then the Communists will most likely finish around 4%, so hopefully below the, still not sure if it exists, electoral threshold. Would be beautiful to see them going out, and then the Republicans will most likely get around 8%, with the Our Party sadly only around 3%, or I hope they're gonna gain a little more than that, because I've officially endorsed them as my pick for this election, which is something I'm gonna do from now on. I forgot to do it in the Italian local elections, but that's just because I already endorsed the Lega on a national level, but I haven't made that official yet. Anyways, that's all for this video. I hope I was able to inform you. If you want to see more, click on the linked video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.